everyone, I'm Andrea Klim from Turn to the Stars. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to be talking about the Venus in Leo transit opposite Saturn and in square to Uranus. And this affects personal relationships overall in many, many ways. And I'm going to show you what that chart looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you what that looks like. And so primarily when you have Venus is in Leo. Venus is the planet that when it's in very positive aspect, meaning these blue lines, which we call trines, it means that there is a really nice conversation happening with these planets. And you can see that Venus is in an applying trine right now to Chiron. So it does support us in our relationships to be able to communicate in very inspiring ways and in very creative ways. And Venus, when it's a nice aspect, positive aspect, it means there's harmony, there's devotion, there's affection, and there's attractiveness. People tend to be more courteous, considerate, and constructive. However, what we see happening here is also that Venus in Leo is what we call, Leo is a fixed sign, meaning that it's strong, it's very set in its ways, it is very big-hearted with the people that it is relating to. And we see that Venus is in square and what we call an applying square. So that energy is growing really strong. And we could actually look at that day by day to see when that is exact. You can see already that Venus is at 12 degrees of Leo. And you can see that it's getting stronger in its square to Uranus. So moving forward, we're at July 8th here. That's the exact square with Uranus. So when Venus is in poor aspect, you will see things such as superficiality in relating to other people, flirtatiousness, indifference, and evasiveness. So it's difficult, and there's growing pains, and there's very unusual, crazy, and unexpected things that people will experience in relating to each other. And when it comes to love relationships, you're going to see people going through periods of great growth, meaning challenges, and it can be quite crazy, even to say the least, when you see Venus in square to Uranus. And it can also affect the way that people relate to each other and how they show affection. And this is a time of breaking old patterns. So people's patterns in their love relationships, with money, with their values, their sense of worth, are being challenged at this time. So this is a time whenever we see squares like this, and today is July 6th, and by Thursday, July 8th, this is going to be exact. But when you have fixed energy, it takes a couple days for that energy to break down. So you're going to see a lot of these types of experiences with people in their relationships. And you're also going to see things to do with technology and money that become front and center, where there is a concentration of energy and focus. And primarily with squares, we want to slow down. We want to take our time. And when you do that, now this is a fire sign, Venus in Leo. Leo is a fire sign. So there's this spark, there's courage here, there's the heart involved. And so Uranus says, I want change to happen. I want you to wake up. I want you to see these patterns of relating that you've been affected by during this energy. And how does that, what can we do about this? And so I'm going to offer a meditation in the process of today's recording to help with this. And also, though, I want to talk about Venus at this very time, July 6th, when I'm recording, Venus is in opposition to Saturn. And so Venus opposite Saturn can be very trying because you've got two energies involved. You've got the outside world involved. You've got responsibility involved. You've got things to do with money and values and sense of worth. You've got the heart involved. And with Leo, there's a sense that I'm going to put it like this, is that that person wants to be recognized, wants to be noticed, and is a leader when it comes to relating, and that there's a lot of ethics and morals involved. And with the opposition, it's about responsibility to Saturn and Aquarius. So, primarily Saturn is, when it's in a diverse aspects such as we see going on right here, oppositions are typically two energies involved, meaning that there's others involved. There's going to be interactions and relating with other people, groups, community, organizations. And so everybody's awareness is being brought up to how they relate to other people. Venus and Leo can be very charming, and Venus and Leo can be that the person that is, not only the person, but people wanting to be recognized and be noticed for their expression. They want to be noticed for what they've created. But there's a level of responsibility that is involved here, and communication. And so Saturn, when it's in positive aspect, it does instill patience and self-discipline and self-control and responsibility and thriftiness and diplomacy, endurance, respect, order. And, Saturn is the upholder of rules. That's the energy that's related with Saturn. And we do see that Saturn is in a very nice aspect here, and it's retrograde with the North Node and the Moon today. So there is this level of support in going in a direction, and this is indicative that there's lots of information out there, and there's a lot of people that are talking about how can we restructure this world. And the thing that comes up, though, with Saturn and Venus in opposition is fearfulness, suppression, especially in this opposition with Venus, miserliness, pessimism, sternness, rigidity, harsh and cold. So we have to look at these things when we're talking about Venus, the planet that is connected with relationships and affection and money and values and things that we hold dear to our hearts. And so my point is that relationships throughout our world are being affected by this Venus opposite Saturn. And one of the most important things that we can see is that we slow down enough to hear someone else, hear what they have to say, to hear what they're expressing, to hear how they choose to relate to each other. And there's a lot of energy here associated with respect also. And so Venus opposite Saturn can bring sadness and loneliness because of delays and limitations affecting your love life and your finances. So this is not a good time at all for socializing. So you could, or you should prepare for some time alone to reflect. Although you may be pressured or feel pressured by loved ones trying to address relationship problems. But during this time, it's going to be very hard because we need to take into account both sides of the coin here. So there's going to be a lot of relationship things come up. There's going to be a lot of things that come up that have to do with money and our sense of values. and our loyalty. Venus in Leo is a very loyal type of energy, very proud. So it will take some time to change some of these old patterns, especially if you are a Leo. And if you have Taurus energy, or if you have Aquarius energy or Scorpio energy, this is a great time of waking up to what old patterns look like. And you may have these moments of aha, wow, unexpected things that come out that are very helpful during this time. But my best and my most, the thing that I recommend the most is slowing down enough to recognize the patterns that you've experienced in the past in relating to others. And when you do that, when you slow down, there's a lot that you realize, and sitting in quiet and reflecting is very helpful with this energy going on, especially over the course of these next couple days. And here is a meditation that I'm going to offer to really help you align with the relationship issues that do come up, and a way that you can find a sense of peace if you cannot relate to others, or they cannot relate to you, or if there are limitations and restrictions that come on your path. So one of the things you can do is visualize that you're in a great big room. And let me just stop the share of this screen. So one of the things you can do is visualize that you're in a room. And if you could imagine in great detail all the significant people in your life are there: your parents, your children, your romantic partners, your siblings, your friends, your teachers, peers from school, employers, co-workers. Every person of significance in your life is there. So if you take some time now and just survey this crowd of people, notice that regardless of the nature of your relationship with each and every one of them looks at you with an expression of pure unconditional love. So you're able to feel this love emanating from each of them. And you can rest serenely in the knowledge that before you were born, there was a bigger plan. There was what we call a pre-birth plan. And that plan was always, is always based on mutual unconditional love. And we can see these patterns in an astrology chart when we look at Venus in your chart and how it is aspected with other planets. So that is primarily one way that we can see your pre-birth plan. And now as you survey this crowd, choose just one person about whom you would like to know more. And I would suggest that you walk up to this person and thank him or her for joining you here today. Then say, I have forgotten what you and I planned together before we were born. Would you please remind me? Then sit quietly and listen for the reply. And the reply may come in different forms. It may come in words. It may come in the form of an answer of symbols or images. Perhaps you're taken to another time or another place. But the suggestion is that you keep your heart open to a reply that comes in the form of a feeling. Feelings are the language of the soul. And try not to be disappointed or frustrated if you receive no reply or an unclear reply. Simply thank the person again for hearing your request and rest easy in the assurance that you will receive the answer. Maybe not in this meditation, perhaps in another meditation or a different way when the time is right. And you can use this meditation as often as you feel guided And the main and most important thing is that you remain unattached to the results. The desire for results can hinder the meditation because desire is a thick, heavy energy that prevents you from raising your vibration in meditation. So rather than desire a response, simply set an intention to be open to any response that may come. And so in talking about Venus and square to Uranus, there may be some really unexpected, sudden flashes of insight that come to you during this time. Squares tend to be challenging and hard because they are a 90-degree angle in astrology. And they are also hard because this is a time of growth. Just like when you're growing up, you get growing pains. And so you have pain that's associated with that growth. However, there's many things that you can do to support yourself and to be open to receive from others. And this is one of those meditations. If you don't understand why you're having differences and difficulty relating to other people, this is something that you can do. You can do this meditation and ask for what was it that we agreed to during this time on Earth. And you can do this with any of the people that you're having difficulty relating to, either verbally or you can't speak to another person. And so primarily though, with Venus squaring Uranus and Venus opposite Saturn, this is very much about slowing down so that you can identify patterns from the past that you have relived over and over and over. And tomorrow I'm going to be talking about the Uranus square Saturn transits that we're experiencing this year and what that means and when that is going to be and how that could possibly play out in your life. Now, remember, this is a universal type of prediction that I'm doing today, meaning that I'm looking at in a universal astrology chart, meaning that how the planets that surround us are influencing us here on Earth. And if you know anything about your astrology chart, your birth chart, and it will help you in understanding the influences that are on your path and how those may play out, the timing of that. And those are things that I can help you with also. And you can reach me at Andrea@TurnToTheStars if you want to take a look at what that might look like in your life and what that timing looks like and where these changes are happening, where these structures are being, where these structures are affecting you that are connected to friends, community goals and objectives. And so again, this is a time of great growth and there is a lot of support in the astrology chart for today. And that is in the way of information and primarily focusing on communicating the best way you can with the people in your life and considering both sides of this. The moon is in Gemini today, right next to the North Node, which is very beneficial emotionally for all of us. And Saturn is giving us a helping hand here in being able to strategize and communicate and consider all sides of experiences. So if you want to tune in to me tomorrow and to Turn to the Stars, I'm going to be talking about the Saturn and Uranus square that we're experiencing because this is something that only happens every 22 years. And till tomorrow, take good care, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. And remember, today through about the 9th or the 10th is this strong shifting energy that is affecting us all with money, with values, with relationships, and be waking up to how you could do things differently this time around versus the way you did before. And so, and again, that meditation is very, very helpful. So thanks for tuning in to Turn to the Stars. Remember, turn to the stars and you'll find your answers there. Thanks for tuning in. Take good care.